Ready?
Yeah, I think we can start.
All
Yep.
right, there we go. All right, what's going, guys? Welcome to our second episode of the Holy Podcast. I'm your host, 8W, and my co-host.
Over here.
Ye-
Easy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
These
sir.
are not made up. These are our actual initials, by the way.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
this is just like a little heads up. I've got new equipment, so the audio quality is way better than the last episode. And shit, we've been getting a lot of plays, a lot of love actually, like
Yeah.
like
A lot
everywhere.
of viewers.
Yeah,
No, definitely appreciate it.
definitely, definitely. Like that.
We're pretty small. So
Signing
any
up.
viewers that we get means a lot to
Yeah.
us.
Exactly. Like we might look back at this and like fucking, God knows, like in a year or two, and we'll be like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, we really said that.
Yeah, we might
Yeah.
cringe at some of the things we say,
Yeah.
but hey, we're enjoying it. We're enjoying it.
Exactly. And last week, I put a poll up for the last episode, and it was a 24-hour poll. I will usually do that. I won't put like a long ass poll for like a month or anything. So, so I get my results quick. And it was between murders and paranormal activity, so like ghost stories and that stuff. And I'm pretty sure about 80%. I'll put a screenshot on later for the people watching through YouTube. Um, yeah, the majority wanted murder stories, and we've got two
Mhm.
murderers.
Two real good ones.
Yeah, we got good ones, but we won't leave you like that. We also got some info,
Yeah.
because who knows, your son might be a murderer.
Exactly.
You could take that as
No.
good news or bad news.
Yeah.
You live with that. Anyways, shit, you might be one. Go check your ancestry. Anyways,
Who knows?
who knows? Who knows? I mean, for all we know, a lot of people are like Genghis Khan's descendants, and that guy was pretty fucked up.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
you never know.
I mean, like, if we have here this study that actually looked at 800 men, but like 800 men that were in prison,
Mhm.
right? And not just any incarcerated men; they were murderers, and there were also people convicted of other crimes. Just petty crimes, robbing, whatever. But they wanted to notice the difference between these type of convicted felons, and there's this is part of the brain that we have, the orbitofrontal cortex and the anterior temporal lobes of the brain, right?
Mhm.
That process empathy, emotional information, and even like things that control your behavior or that suppress your tendencies to react or act on something.
Exactly.
And you can tell them what they found.
Yeah, and before that, this is all backed up by actual professors. This is not just like random bullshit that we think. So we also got a neuroscientist called Jim Fallon, who studied the brain of psychopaths for over 20 years. 20 years is a lot of time, and he studied that shit. And what did he discover? That his whole like lineage of murderers is like a part of his ancestry. So he continued to scan his own brain as well as his son's, and he compared them to psychopaths, and it showed that he had the same low orbital cortex activity as a killer. In other words, that means that that part of the brain is less active, you could say, or works worse.
I mean,
Okay,
you
yeah.
could say
It means
that.
it means
Like,
it means he's like the same as other murderers. So, in other words, it's not that he is a murderer. It just means his brain works like one. So it's not just because your brain is like that you will become a murderer, but it is a fact that all murderers have the same issue. or
Yeah.
psychopaths, I should say, because not all
Right.
murder is like, you know, like premeditated.
Right.
So I'll be explaining this for you guys. The first, second, and third degree murder. For the people who are watching on YouTube or any other video, I will give you a timestamp to skip this unless you know it. So the elements of a first degree murder. So a first degree murder is malice aforethought. So that means basically like you are doing this with the intent and disregard of human life. So like you doing this, you know you're gonna kill somebody, you know you're gonna torture somebody, you just don't give a shit about their life, if they're dead or alive. You're doing this. That's the thing. Premeditated means you're planning this beforehand. So if you're planning it, it's premeditated. And the third and final thing is the intent. Like, did you actually do this fully intending or murder or serious felony, right? Anyways, the second degree murder is lax premeditation. It means you acted impulsively. So maybe do rage because you were, rage or because accidentally or whatever, but with the intent of harm. You weren't planning it, but because of something, it happened impulsively, right? Last but not least, third degree murder. We got it's without the intent to harm, or it's with the intent to harm, but it was not premeditated. So basically, it happened by accident. By the way, this third degree murder is like only exists in 3 U.S. states. It's only in Florida, Pennsylvania, and Minnesota. It is usually defined as a non-premeditated killing that is committed with the intent to cause bodily harm rather than death. That's one hell of a mouthful, but it actually it's kind of dying off third degree murder. But that's all you have to know. It's
All right. That's good to know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really know the difference.
But now you know.
Yeah.
And if you don't know and you still don't understand it, play this shit back. Don't worry about it. Send it to your family, friends, share it.
Yeah.
Share. I don't mind.
Yeah. I know. People really gotta know the difference.
Yeah.
Like it's important to know.
It should be basic knowledge at this point.
Yeah.
Now let's get to the juicy part, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's get to the part everyone wants to know. All right. So, our first murderer, a well-known person actually.
Mm-hmm.
Many people know him as the Killer Clown, John Wayne Gacy.
Now wait, don't click off. It's the same thing with Jeffrey Dahmer. Just because you know his name doesn't mean you know what he did. All right?
That's true.
So keep listening. Damn.
That's true. A lot of people know him. So did I. I knew of him, but I never knew this much. I mean, he was, for the people who don't know anything, he
That's
was an
great.
American.
That's great. Keep learning. You need this.
Exactly. He was an American serial killer and rapist. So, pretty bad person in I think most people's books. And he was born in 1942. He died in 1994. So it was a long time ago, but it's a very interesting story. And we were just talking about the mental aspect of things, and one of the biggest things in serial killer stories is their backstory and how they have always a gruesome backstory. His is horrible.
Yeah.
So he was apparently growing up in Chicago, Illinois. Right. He said Gacy and his siblings, grew up with an alcoholic father who would beat the children with a razor strap if they were perceived to have misbehaved. So if they did anything, they got beaten, not with a belt, not with a spoon, but with a razor strap.
Yeah. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, you need to know that these people usually don't do this. It's a really, really small percentage that do it because they don't feel anything. There is always a reason behind a murder. Keep that in mind.
Right. Just because someone has a tough backstory doesn't excuse what they do.
Exactly.
But yeah, even Gacy's sister, Karen, fitting name, would later say that the siblings learned to toughen up against the beatings and that Gacy would never cry.
See, so this kid is already holding it in. This is bad development in his childhood.
Yeah. Yeah. So, later in life, he was like exiled from school. He was always, not with people, not a social person. And this is back in the 1960s, 1970s. And so he actually figured out he was attracted to men,
Oh
you know,
shit!
which
Uh,
that's a bad time to be
like
homosexual,
yeah.
But crazy enough, he actually did have a wife later in life. Yeah. In the 1960s, in 1970s, he had a wife and, had children even.
Damn.
Yeah. But he was just a regular old guy. I mean, he just worked in a fast food chain.
He was a manager, right?
Yeah, he was a manager. He was a self-made building contractor, regular ass person, right?
Yeah.
But a weird part of what he did was that he would go around to children's birthday parties as a clown. That's what gave him the name Killer Clown.
Yeah,
Right?
and I heard they called him even like he was kind of popular.
I mean, that's just inviting a serial killer to your house, literally.
Yeah, they don't know this by the way.
Yeah,
Just,
no one knows this. I mean, but his
this is after the fact.
Yeah, his crime life did span a long time. So, even as early as 1968, he was convicted of sexually assaulting 2 teenage boys and was given a 10-year sentence.
Yeah.
But here's the crazy part. 10 years, right? So he was supposed to get out in 1978.
Yeah.
He was released on parole in the summer of 1970, only 2 years later.
Yeah. And that's crazy, because I mean, that's really flawed. That parole system, it really doesn't. See, look, ladies and gentlemen, I love these murder stories, but you need to understand, these were real people who done real things, and this is not a joke. Like sexually assaulting 2 boys is already wrong. Teen
so
boys,
wrong.
by the way.
Yeah.
This guy is a
Teenage.
full adult. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, if he went through with his 10-year sentence, I would doubt that he would keep doing what he was doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no, he kept getting released.
Exactly. I mean, 2 years is not enough to rethink all your life choices. He was actually arrested in 1971, once again, because a teenage boy accused Gacy of sexual assault. And once again, the charges were dropped when the boy didn't even appear during the trial. That's interesting. He didn't even appear. And this went on and on and on, apparently. Gacy referred to the 1970s, actually, as his cruising years.
Yeah, and look at that. And by the middle of 1970s, 2 more young males accused him of rape. Not even sexual assault at this point. This is rape.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it's so weird. Like, this is all in the same year, 1970.
Yeah.
Released in 1970, and he did all this during 1970. That is insane.
Yeah, 1970 to 1971. Just span of such a small time.
Yeah.
But so he did say that in the 1970s he did commit most of his murders, but one of the most famous murders, one of the most known murders, is on December 11th, 1978, where a 15 went missing. He was last seen at a drugstore right before he headed out to meet Gacy, just to discuss a construction job, and then he went missing. I mean, you gotta watch out for your children. You gotta watch out. I mean, he was just trying to get a job as a 15-year-old, and then boom.
I mean, honestly, in the 1970s, I heard people didn't give the stranger danger wasn't all there, and now it's a big thing.
It's a huge thing.
It's a huge thing. Like you would never let your kid go alone talking with a 50-year-old man, 40-year-old man, however old he is. You would never do that.
No.
But then it was shit. Why not? He's growing up. He's becoming a man.
So his it was later discovered actually that in 1972, so 2 years after he was released from prison, that he took the life of a 6-year-old boy. 2
Yeah.
years. So that means from 1972 to 1978, from when the 15-year-old went missing, he was
Yeah.
probably still committing the murders, committing the rapes, and all
Yeah.
6 of those years.
Yeah.
6. It's the time back then is a lot different now, but you still
Mhm.
have to be on your toes.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
100%. There's a happy ending, actually, to this story. He was found guilty of 33 murders. That doesn't sound as happy, but at least he was found guilty.
Yeah.
And he was given 12 death sentences and
Deserved.
21 natural life sentences, which, if you can do the math, that equals 33 life sentences.
Exactly
how many kills he got. So he got a life sentence for every kill, which I think is pretty fair.
Yeah.
But his trial actually didn't even start until 1980. So this
Pretty
was
late.
8 years after his first kill.
Yeah.
And of course, he died by lethal injection because the death penalty was still a thing back then. But a weird thing about this was that, which really shows how mentally screwed up serial killers are and how screwed up he was that even though he had confessed guilty, he did say he was guilty. He later published a recorded telephone number saying that he was not guilty. And this went on for 12 minutes. For 12 minutes, he went on and on about saying he was not guilty.
Like, it's so weird. Like,
It's, like, it's very interesting how he'll say at one point he's guilty and then change his mind the other. Like, his brain doesn't comprehend. That's not how that works,
Yeah, like, it's really like, he also had an alter ego, well, the killer clown. He so at the kids' parties he was Pogo the clown, and his alter ego was Killer Clown. That's for after the kids' party.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it just shows how this guy is like. Before this, he was the Killer Clown, and he confessed. He was like, "Yeah, I killed them." And before his death, he was Pogo the clown. He's saying, I'm innocent. I've done nothing wrong.
Right.
This, that. It's really like two minds stuck in a body,
Yeah, definitely.
It still doesn't make it good that he killed, first of all.
No.
And for the second point that I'm trying to make is just because you've had a bad childhood doesn't mean you need to go kill people. How many people? 33 people?
33.
Yeah.
33. Not even.
Definitely.
I mean, these are humans, but these are just 33 young males,
Yeah. These kids haven't seen like nothing of life yet.
They
basically.
have not even, this is
life.
America. They haven't even touched drink. They haven't gone out and partied yet. They're just living life, and they just it ends abruptly.
Like, I mean, see, like, we're not in the place to decide who deserves this and who doesn't. But honestly, in my opinion, nobody really deserves this. No. Definitely children. Children.
Definitely not.
Like, this is so wrong on so many levels.
It is.
But, ladies and gentlemen, this is the fun of murder stories. And there's also a movie.
Yeah, there was. Yeah. In 1992, so 12 years after he was convicted, they have a movie called To Catch a Killer.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a documentary to explore the efforts to try to find out what happened to the teenage boys, the missing ones even. And, it is pretty interesting how they make so many movies after serial killers, really kind of makes it seem not as bad as it is, but it's kind of like, this is still bad. You shouldn't give these people like attention.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. People get influenced by whatever the big companies give attention to. So
exactly,
that's already like messed up. I mean, shit. People like. I mean, let's talk about right now. If we talk about somebody died, nobody really cares anymore.
Right.
It really just shows how our brains like the like compassion and the empathy to people has really gone down since
Truly
way back.
has.
You
It
know,
truly has. Yeah.
I mean, shit. Maybe we're becoming murderers.
Yeah. I mean, seriously,
Slowly but surely.
it's interesting. I mean, like nowadays, like you would not have people saying such horrible things about like psychopaths and serial
Hmm.
killers, because you see like how you mentioned Jeffrey Dahmer at the beginning. People like
Hmm.
romanticize Jeffrey Dahmer, while back
Yeah.
then, they hated them. I mean, like one worker who actually like was involved in the demolition of Gacy's
Hmm.
house said, if the devil's alive, he lived here. So they called him the devil.
Yeah.
And nowadays we have people like shipping
Fantasizing about him.
fantasizing like
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer and stuff, and it's like,
Yeah.
what
So wrong.
what
So wrong.
happened,
Like literally, they found a fucking a big ass plastic container where one of his victims was burned alive
Yeah.
with acid.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not alive, he was dead, but he was burned like with acid, like beyond like knowing or like fucking seeing the face or anything. Like it was beyond that. The bones and everything melted.
Yeah.
See, when you have somebody like that and he gets fantasized about, it's really wrong.
It's
It's like something is wrong.
yeah, no, it's troubling.
So let me get started with my murder.
Okay.
No, you don't know who this guy is.
I
You
haven't.
just know he's a John.
Another
See,
John. Yes.
another John. Exactly. So this guy is called John List.
John.
He is an accountant and a mass murderer. So see, this guy is a little less known. I took that because just in case you guys know a lot about murderers, you might not know about this guy. So in 1971, John List lost his job at the bank at age 46. Oh, by the way, this guy is rich. He is rich.
Oh shit.
All right. This guy. So let me read this out for you first. John List appeared to be the perfect son, husband, and father. He worked as an accountant at a nearby bank to provide for his family. The New Jersey mansion he inhabited with his mother, wife, and 3 children had 19 rooms, including a ballroom, marble fireplace, not just fireplace, fireplaces,
Whoa.
and a Tiffany skylight.
Dude.
List and his family were the embodiments of the American dream in 1965.
Holy. This man is living better than me.
Bro, this guy is rich.
This guy is living the life, and
19 rooms, and he only has 3 kids. Like every kid gets like, fuck, only God knows how many rooms, 3 divided by 19, whatever. Anyways.
trying to do that.
These,
Trying to do that
trying to
math.
do that. Yeah. Pull out the calculator.
Okay. Each kid gets like 6.5 rooms.
6.5. Oh, fuck. Yeah. The half is a storage room. We'll keep that for
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, I mean, too big of a home, honestly. For the people watching on YouTube, I'll put pictures up of the family. For my co-host, I'll send him the link
All right.
so we can see too. So, in 1971, John List lost his job at the bank at age 46, as I said.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he couldn't find another job, which is quite the issue. But the bigger issue is he just found it like awful to tell his family that they lost their income, at the point of he would rather murder them than tell them.
What?
Yes. Let me talk a little about after this. So he spent his days at the train station reading the newspaper and secretly skimming money from his mother's bank account to pay the mortgage. He refused to go on welfare as it would entail excruciating, and I quote, excruciating embarrassment in the community and violate the principles of self-sufficiency that he learned at his father. See, this is quite different.
Yeah.
I'll continue. It's hard to believe the solution he arrived at would have been more acceptable to his father, but John List would later say it seemed to him the only option. That option is the murder of his mother, wife, and children.
Jesus.
Now, I mean, shit. There's he has his reasons, which I'll say later. One day,
Sorry,
one
that's crazy. I got my reasons for killing my
Yeah.
mom, my wife,
Wife.
my love,
yeah.
and the
No, he
children.
didn't have a good reason. He didn't have a good reason, but he had a reason.
Okay.
Shit. I mean, that's like one better than John Wayne Gacy.
That's true.
But was like one, that's like bottom of the barrel still.
Yes.
Anyways, one day in late 1971, John List shot and killed his wife, Helen. His wife's name Helen. He shot and killed her. His 16-year-old daughter Patricia shot and killed her too.
Damn.
His 15-year-old son John shot him.
Damn.
His 13-year-old son Frederick shot him.
Damn.
And his mother Alma, aged 85 years old, shot her too.
Damn.
Yep.
That's 4
They were
dams.
shot. Yeah. Got a lot of dams. They were shot methodically, one by one. Helen was first. So John saw the children off to school and then shot her in the kitchen as this guy's crazy. This guy's crazy.
This guy's insane.
John saw the children off to school, his own kids,
Yeah.
and then shot his wife in the kitchen as she was drinking her morning coffee.
Oh my god. She couldn't even enjoy her coffee in the morning before she died.
Like, for fuck's sake, first thing in the morning. Anyways, rest in peace to all the victims.
Yes.
Then he went up to the 3rd floor and murdered his mother in bed.
He did not skip a beat. Wow.
He did not waste any time. This is a first-degree murder, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Both of them, actually.
Yes.
Anyways, he killed Patricia when she returned home from school. His youngest son, Frederick. And then, so he killed both. He killed 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Then he went home. Well, he was home. He made himself a sandwich. This is real. This is real. This is real. This is not bullshit. He made himself a sandwich, closed out his bank accounts, and cheered for his only surviving son, John, at his high school soccer game. And then he gave him a ride home and shot him in the chest.
Oh, he's sick. He's sick in the head.
He is lost.
My only thought here is, right? You ever have like a really awkward drive home? How awkward was this drive home, man?
Yeah. Bro, he was like, I mean, he cheered for his son. He was happy and shit. And he was like, okay, son.
Time to die.
Yep. Go ahead, go in the house. Bang. Shoots him in the chest. Anyways, now, keep listening. It doesn't get better. It gets worse.
Oh, God.
John List laid the bodies of his family members on top of sleeping bags in the ballroom. He collected them, anyways. Then, he collected... He really did this.
Yeah. Like, I mean...
He brought all the bodies in one room.
My thing is, he shot the mom on the 3rd floor of the house. He really just...
And brought her. Yep.
No face, no emotion. Took the dead body of his mother down 3 flights of stairs.
Yep. Now, let me tell you. This is the reason. He feared his family confronted with a world full of evil and poverty. That's why this was the only way to ensure their safe arrival in heaven. So, you know how in the religious books, if you get killed, you go to heaven, right?
Right.
And if you kill someone, you go to hell, right? So this guy said, okay, might as well kill my whole family so they would reach heaven.
That's insane.
Is...
That's insane.
I mean, it's safe to say this guy is a psychopath.
I can get what he's trying to get at. Like he's trying to
Yeah.
be, that man that would sacrifice anything for his family. They do
Yeah.
not mean that literally sacrifice your family.
Fucking, where's Vin Diesel when you need him? Oh my god. Oh wow. Yeah, no, this guy really did anything for his family, and well, not the right things,
Not the
and
right
not in the
things.
right
Yeah,
ways,
no.
but he did do a lot. Anyways, he was not, however, willing to suffer what was coming to him. The police. Shit. I wait. Actually, I wonder why he didn't kill him. Oh yeah, because you go straight to hell, right? By killing somebody, you go straight to hell too. So
Yeah, I don't know.
that doesn't make it. Yeah, that doesn't make it. How did he not think of this? All right, anyways, I won't question that. Let me continue with this.
Yeah,
one.
continue.
Yeah. He cleaned the crime scene and used scissors to remove his image from every single photo in the mansion. He canceled all deliveries and contacted his children's schools to let their teachers know the family would be on vacation for a few weeks. He turned on the lights and the radio, leaving religious hymns playing in the house's empty rooms. He slept in the mansion where his family lay dead, then walked out the door next morning and wasn't seen again for 18 years.
Oh my god, he got away with it. He got away with it?
But wait, there's more.
Oh, there's no.
Yo, but hold on. Let me get back to that. He slept in the home. He's like, okay, that's my mom, that's my wife, that's my 3 kids. Let me take a nap. See, shit. I need me. I need me next morning. I need to refresh.
I need a full 8 hours before I leave
Yeah,
my
bro.
dying children in the house.
Fuck's sake, man. Anyways, yo, these guys are really fucked up.
This
honestly.
is we're not trying to.
It's so flawed.
Like we're laughing here, but it's just like it's just because this story is so insane that I don't think we can like mentally fathom how or why someone would do this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, fuck, you have the love of your life, and you're doing this.
Exactly.
Come on. We have pictures of the handwritten note that he sent to the school. I'll put that on screen.
Right.
Also, the family picture and all of that for YouTube viewers, or maybe you're seeing this through TikTok. Who knows? We'll see. Anyways, a month passed before neighbors, curious about the constantly burning lights and empty windows, began to suspect something was wrong
Okay.
at the mansion. When authorities entered the Westfield, New Jersey house on December 7th, 1971, they heard organ music piped through the intercom system. They also found a 5-page note from John explaining that the bloodied bodies on the ballroom floor were his family members killed out of mercy. He had saved the souls of the people he loved.
This man really had the audacity to write a 5-page note. That took so much time out of his hands, right?
That's why he had to sleep.
that's why you gotta take a rest.
Fuck, man.
I mean, it's crazy how he could say that he killed them out of mercy. Mercy and killed should not be in the same sentence.
Exactly. This guy is talking like he's some saint,
Yeah.
Saved these people. Anyways, the FBI found his car parked at the Kennedy Airport in New York City, but they never found him. The trail went cold.
Dude.
Until 18 years later.
What?
Like, fast forward to 18 years later. So, 1989.
Okay.
They came up with a plan. They took a forensic artist, right? An expert, Frank Bender. He made a physical sculpture of how the aged John Liss would look like, right?
Okay.
And this guy is a professional. He's an expert. I'll put the image on screen, and this guy did a great job. Like, great, perfect, It was, it's crazy how close. It was basically spot on, aside, from a few wrinkles, And you can see it, too. They aired this on America's Most Wanted. like his story and all of that, and it reached an audience. Like what his sculpture, it reached an audience of 22 million people. That's a lot. Let me explain. 22 million people might not sound like a whole lot, but you need to understand most of the viewers are Americans. So, most of
Right.
the people had a small minority of the people like had an idea, and they
Mm.
started like sending emails and tips and this and that. And one tip came from a woman in Richmond, Virginia, who
Oh
thought
my
her
god.
next door neighbor, Robert Clark, bore a striking resemblance to the bust. The bust is basically the sculpture.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
Back when I was in America, I lived, I'm not kidding, an hour away from Richmond. Dude, this happened in my
Dude,
hometown.
what were your initials? No, no.
Who was your great grandfather again?
Yeah. So let me take a brain scan from you. Anyways, the tipster said her neighbor was also an accountant and attended church, which lines up.
Oh yeah.
And so the authorities went to Mr. Robert Clark's house and they spoke to his wife, whom he met at a church social gathering. And guess what? Turns out Robert Clark is John List. And that put an end to the 18-year-long mystery. And it was crazy because he just changed his identity to Robert Clark and moved to Colorado, and it just worked. And then he kept it and moved to Richmond. This guy,
That's an insane
yeah,
story.
yeah,
That
yeah,
that was
it's nice, right? And by the way, to add on to it, he went to jail. He got for life imprisonment,
okay.
first degree murder. He was in prison for about 17 years, 6 months, and 23 days until March 21st, 2008. He died.
Wow.
By the way, March 21st is my birthday. But anyways, that doesn't have to do anything with it. But he died.
Let me see your brain scan.
Yo, actually. Yeah. He killed 5 people in total. 3 kids, 1 wife. His mother. He used a 22 caliber revolver and also a 9mm Star handgun. I'll put images of that too. So, what'd you think?
That was an incredible story. I mean,
These
now
Johns, man. I really.
these Johns.
Jesus
we need
Christ.
we need to check up on these Johns.
We need to chill with these Johns, bro.
I mean, like, this
Yeah.
is another level of fucked up.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
John Wayne Gacy, yes, he killed 33 like young teens, but they had nothing to do with him. He had
Yeah.
no connection
Yeah.
to them.
Yeah.
They were just random killings. He was just psychotic,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
John
These people
List,
were related.
this
Yeah.
John List loved these people.
Yeah.
This is another
And he
type
wasn't
of
homosexual or
psycho.
anything, so he
Right.
actually lived like it wasn't
Yeah,
like
no,
a face he was putting up or like acting. No,
Right,
he
right.
really loved these people.
he really loved them. Yeah.
His own kids, 3 kids, his wife, like he really liked these people. He wasn't like some people would like die to protect their family, and this
Mhm.
guy, he killed them to protect them.
I mean,
is crazy.
it's there's like, a lot a lot of psychopaths in the world, but
Mhm.
I think like my own thing that I'm looking at, there's different levels of psychotic, different levels of psychos. Like
Yeah.
John Wayne Gacy is just messed up, and he just was homosexual and liked killing and messing and sexually assaulting people, right? Like
Yeah.
that, he was just a gruesome guy.
Yeah.
Well, John List thought he did something righteous. He
Yeah.
killed with purpose, real
Yeah.
purpose
Yeah.
that he thought was morally correct.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like fucking the other guy, Gacy. He thought he was. I mean, he like confessed. You know,
Mm.
he didn't show any. I he. They didn't say anything about empathy or if he showed empathy, but it seemed like it was
Didn't.
different. It was really
Yeah.
different, actually.
He
The,
just he didn't care. Like
yeah,
he confessed to those murders. He knew
yeah,
what he did. He knew what
and
he did was bad.
yeah,
While this guy,
like he,
if we interviewed him and we
yeah,
talked to him, 100% he would still feel like he didn't do anything bad.
yeah, he would like, yeah, he think, yeah, exactly. He would think he's a saint. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
I did the right thing. I saved them. You know, I saved them from you people from this hideous world. You know, like,
Right.
calm down. That's not, that's not correct. You know,
That's not how that works.
that is not like you're not supposed to decide that. You know, and
Right.
by the way, in the article it says he was he hoped after he died he would go to heaven so he can reunite with them.
Mm.
He really believed he could go to heaven. I mean, he fuck after killing them, he still went to church.
Yeah, and
Like,
like
good thing being
he
religious, but
believes
what the fuck?
he believes that he killed his family apparently with purpose, and so
Yeah,
he would get into heaven if he didn't kill himself. So that's why he didn't. He just said, "I'll just die naturally and then meet him up there."
yeah,
Like he didn't just kill 5 people.
yeah. Exactly, exactly. So if there is a God that he believes in, I don't think it's the same God that other Christians believe in.
Yeah, I do not believe that
Yeah,
that the God he believes in did him any good.
yeah. I mean, fucking hell. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've made a beautiful episode for you today.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you enjoyed this. Um, we will. We're posting every week an episode. We might, if we have spare time, we might make extra episodes, but that's of course for the people who got a subscription with us, right?
Yep.
Now, besides that, um, next week, well, I'm gonna put up a poll today, for the next 24 hours, and for next week we're gonna have, what was it again?
It was either theories, like we're
Yeah.
just gonna bounce off theories off of each other, interesting ones,
Mm-hmm.
not just like flat Earth,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Or we're gonna do like ghost
Paranormal.
stories,
Yeah.
paranormal stories, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So that's gonna be on our list. We're not gonna do the boring stories. That's definitely
Right.
like if they saw a UFO in America. Like nobody
Yeah,
cares
right.
about that. Nobody cares about that. Come on.
Like
Like we're gonna put some shit that's gonna put you in like
exactly.
doubt. Like you're gonna be doubting your parents or some shit. We'll see what we're doing.
Like we'll do exactly what we did with this story. We'll give you a story but you might not know everything,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
we'll give you a story you definitely don't know.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
you're gonna enjoy it. I like when my audience comes to me, talks with me. So if you guys have any extra info that I should point out in the next episodes, send us on holypodcast at outlook.com. That's our email. You can send us an email right there. And we hope you enjoyed this episode. And we wish you all a good day. Goodbye.